Hello you guys, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. Today I am not going to be doing a story time video, but rather I am going to be talking about something that is a huge topic right now on the internet in general, but especially here on YouTube, and that is Tanacon. I did not personally attend Tanacon, but I'm viewing this from the perspective of somebody who thought about attending Tanacon. So if you're interested in kind of hearing my thoughts about this, this is me having post-watched the 3 Shane Dawson videos in which he tried to go deeper into Tanacon. I have been reading tweets about it, I have been watching fan videos from people who were there, I watched his entire series on it, and of course, like most people, I have been waiting for Tana to upload a video to her channel in some form of explanation on this topic. And if you're like me, you've been disappointed in her response to this. So the first thing that I'm going to talk about is just Tanacon in general. Anyone that went to this, thought about going to this, whatever, knew exactly what this was from the get-go. And this was just Tana wanting to get revenge on VidCon, okay? There is no other way to say it. You planned it for the same weekend, in the same city. It was just to get revenge on VidCon. And okay, that's fine if that's what you want to do, but the whole thing was coming from a place of pettiness, in my opinion. So after watching Shane's videos, you know, there are plenty of things that came out in those, that were realized in those, and that I kind of want to touch on. So I'm still left with a couple questions after watching his video, as I'm sure a lot of people are, but one of those big questions that I really have that I feel remained unanswered in the videos is where in the hell this 15 to 20,000 people came from, because I'm sure everyone here has seen the videos of Tana on her Snapchat, on Instagram, whatever, saying, it's not my fault, 15,000 people showed up, imagine what you would think if that happened, blah blah blah. And it has been completely shown that no, actually, there were about 4,000 to 5,000 people there. That is the official police report saying that, okay? So whether it was Tana or Michael or whoever coming up with that, my question is, who came up with that number? Who decided to start talking about that, and who made that a thing? Because that very clearly was not a thing that happened, okay? My second point to this, I think that the most interesting part to this whole thing is them signing the contract, and by them it was just Michael that signed the contract with the Marriott, saying that they were going to have 1,000 people there, okay? Now they're claiming in Shane Dawson's series that they were told to just put 1,000 down as a safe number, but really they could have more there, and I just don't personally see... I understand that both Tana and Michael were young, but if I were to sign a contract, keep in mind I'm 22, okay? I'm not exactly older, I'm about the same age. If I were to sign a contract with a place like a hotel, and they said to put that as a safe number, A, I would have done my research on what is the real capacity they can hold here, and I would be asking them that question, okay? B, if they told me to put down a safe number, you better believe that I would have either some written agreement from them stating that they told me that, or B, in all of this filming that they did, I would have video evidence of the people at the Marriott telling me that yes, we can hold these 5,000 people, but just put 1,000 as a safe number, okay? Which in my opinion, to begin with, is shitty of them to even accept that if the Marriott really did say that, which I personally don't believe that they did. It would have been shitty in my opinion to say that you know what capacity is there and that the Marriott knows what capacity is there and you're still going to do that because you know that that means that not everyone can get inside. So that's one part of this. The second part to that is seeing Tana in the film in Shane's little docuseries in which she says You know, it would be cool to have people waiting outside. Fans love that shit. People just want to be like, oh, I got rained on. She literally says this in his series, okay? So, as much as Tana wants to say, while crying, I feel so bad for all my fans that were waiting outside and I was told that everyone was being filed in and blah blah blah. You A, could have looked out any fucking window and realized that wasn't the case. B, gone outside to check for yourself or sent anyone from your staff to do that. I mean, come on, you can't say that you didn't know because it was your job to know. Your name was on the event. The event was for you. You should have been behind the scenes of things and not relying so much on other people, okay? And the fact that she said that she thought it would be cool for people to be waiting outside leads me to believe that she was completely aware that they oversold the tickets, okay? They literally say in the footage that they had like 5,200 tickets sold, okay? You know that that means there are 5,000 people that expect to be getting inside, okay? When you sign up for the Marriott, then you do not put 1,000 as your expected capacity when you know that you have sold 5,000 tickets, okay? You put the honest to God truth number on there and you make sure that your fans aren't waiting out in the sun, aren't getting sunburnt, aren't getting dehydrated, okay? The second thing I want to talk about is the safety issue, which was one of her huge things with VidCon, as well as a lot of other creators talking about this being an issue at VidCon. If I had been Tana, and that had really been my priority concern, I would have been in meetings with the company. I would have been vetting the security people to make sure that I thought they were appropriate, especially when you know that you are holding this in the same city at the same time as VidCon, who I'm sure has already had tons of security from this place lined up ahead of time, okay? You're coming to the game late, and that was out of the pure pettiness of deciding to plan it in 2 months to spite VidCon, okay? In the process of doing this, she fucked her own fans and Shane's fans, the Gabby Show's fans, whoever came to see what creator they wanted. They knew that this was not going to happen, okay? So, then you have leading up to Tanacon. I personally was watching Tana's Snap stories and everything of her being in Hawaii and personally was questioning, even leading up to Tanacon, why the hell are you on vacation right now when you have this event that is supposed to be happening in like a week that you should be planning and making sure is going to be running smooth? You know, in this video, she just keeps blaming Michael, and yes, I totally agree that Michael was way in over his head. I'm confident he did probably say things to her like, I'm sure that blah blah blah, yes, we'll make blah 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 work. But at the end of the day, you weren't following up on these things. You're saying you don't know what was in these gift bags, and you should have. Why on earth are you saying that it's going to be 4 times the price? You advertised that. On what level do you advertise something without checking for yourself? You don't just say that before they're made, okay? You say that after you know everything that is going into it. So that right there was just, what the hell, okay, really? So I digress from that. Then, you know, Tana puts out her stuff before VidCon and Tanacon saying like, oh, VidCon has all these kinds of booths, they have all these cool things, and we are too. We're gonna have all of this lit shit there. And then you see videos of empty ass hallways, okay? So, as someone who is looking at this from the outside, I would like to see, did you ever have contracts with these people? And if so, where are they? Did you actually have emails or anything talking with these people? And if so, where are they? Where were any of the things that you said were going to be there? That is just so shady, and to me was still unanswered in this docuseries. I think that, you know, Shane tried in this, but I think as someone that was Tana's friend, he wasn't the person to do this. I think that somebody who was an objective third-party outsider would have been a better choice to do this, because it still leaves people with so many questions and so many things to be mad about. And another one of those things is Tana herself tweeting about how today is the first day that she doesn't want to die, and that she's not going to give up because that would be against everything that she stands for, etc., etc. After all these days of silence, okay? Radio silence to your fans, to the people that you fucked over. You just go into hiding. She keeps saying in these videos that Michael just left right after and didn't talk to anyone and wasn't getting in hold of anyone, blah, blah, blah. And then she did the same thing. She went into radio silence too on her own fans from her own event, okay? So I don't want to hear how he did that when you did the same thing. And the fact that she went to a party the first night of Tanacon after all of that shit happened, instead of trying to figure out with Michael and his team what they were going to do, just shows how little she cared, okay? To me, that is the epitome of I'm lazy, I want somebody else to do the work, and I want the credit. Because had Tanacon gone smoothly and well and showed up VidCon, I'm sure we would have videos on her channel by now of how great it was and how she did all this planning and all of her work that went into it. And not how, oh, I was just trusting all of these other people, I was just trusting what other people told me, etc., etc. So, to me, it's just the girl who cried wolf. This is not her first issue that she's had. This is not the first time that she has been caught lying. And I just, as someone who was a fan of Tana, obviously I make storytime videos here. I obviously liked watching her storytime videos. But as someone who's a fan that has now repeatedly been through seeing these things with her, I just can't understand how this continues and how people continue to defend her for this. And if I can go into a little bit of a criticism on the Shane Dawson docuseries about this, I'm gonna be straight up. As a viewer of that, no, I did not think it was a great docuseries. No, I'm not left thinking that everything has been answered and that all is great. I am left with questions about the capacity, the people there, the contracts, where these vendors were. He didn't ask her about where these vendors were or if they had any contracts, if she'd seen anything, talk to this. Didn't have anything to say about if there had been contracts for the food, etc. And Tana herself said, oh no, I was told there was going to be food, you know. Okay, and then at what point do you say, by who? What food's going to be there, you know? None of that is even mentioned in it. There's a lot of things where I personally feel like Shane, because he was her friend, did not push harder into it and didn't ask the tough questions and didn't ask for the receipts that people need on this. So for someone watching it, honestly, I was pretty disappointed in his conclusion of it because to me, it's not concluded. And my final thoughts on this are for the people who did go and their refunds. Because this radio silence on Tana's part is bullshit to me. The company that sold the tickets signed a contract with Michael Wiest, however you say his name, and he signed saying that if anything were to happen, Good Times, his company, would be solely responsible for refunding any tickets, anything. So no, you can't put any crap on the company that sold the tickets. It's not their job. Their job wasn't to set up security. Their job wasn't to find a venue that could fit capacity. Their job was not to make sure that anything was there. Their job solely was to be the platform to sell tickets on. So all of this falls back onto Tana and Michael, okay? And Tana says one thing about Michael's financial situation. He says another. Who the fuck knows what the truth is on that? We don't know what the truth is on that. But where I come from, okay, no, I don't think it's realistic that people are going to get refunds for airfare, for hotels that they stayed in, etc. I just don't think that's realistic. But abso-fucking-lutely, people should get refunds for their tickets. All of that $350,000 worth of tickets that were sold to 5,000 plus people to go to an event that could hold 1,000 people were 100% scammed in my mind. There is no video of her crying or apologizing that will ever change my mind on the fact that she dead ass knew that she was doing something that she couldn't do, and she decided to do it anyway out of the pettiness in her heart. So I 100% believe those people should be refunded. And yes, technically, Michael Wiest was the one who signed the contract saying that it would be his company's responsibility if something happened. But as someone sitting here, a third-party outsider, I 100% believe that Tana should be stepping in to do something for these fans, okay? It should not be James Charles, Shane Dawson, or anyone else saying, what can we do for these fans? Tana herself just keeps saying, I don't know what to do. I don't know how I can fix this. Why don't you, instead of radio silence on your channel, why don't you put a video up reaching out to your fans, to the people that came to see you, who paid money to be there for this, and ask them what you can do, okay? I don't want to hear anymore, I don't know what I can do to fix this, because you're not asking the people who can tell you what they need for you to fix this, okay? Maybe you can't refund all of the money for airfare and hotels, whatever. I know Tana has money, we all know Tana has money, but to what extent, who really effing knows, okay? All I'm saying is that you could be finding some way to make this up, okay? Whether it is making sure that you're calling people that didn't get to go in, that bought tickets, personally, sending them personal emails, a personal card. You should be sending them some of your effing merch, in my opinion, because you fucked those people hard. And there is shit that you are not going to be able to refund, and I get that. But at some point then, you need to take some kind of credit and say, I told these people that there would be 4 times the amount of the ticket price in their bag. And so one thing I can do is say that, okay, every person that got that VIP thing and got the bag, I can at least fix it now after and send them the swag that I thought should be in it. If you had a list of 10 things that you sent to Michael that you wanted in that bag, awesome. It's now up to you, knowing with the list of people who were there, okay, to go ahead, get the shit that you wanted them to have, and give it to them. So I know this is a rant, but this was just my personal opinion on the matter. As someone who's been watching this unfold over the last week, that watched the docuseries and have watched other people's videos on this and been reading the tweets about this, I 100% think that this is just bullshit on Tana's part, and her daddy Shane shouldn't be stepping in to save her, okay? She should be stepping in to fix shit herself. If you want to be someone at your age who takes on putting on a convention, then you need to also be someone at your age who takes on the responsibility behind that, whether it succeeds or fails. So that is my opinion on the matter, but leave your comments on what you think she should be doing right now, what your questions are that are unanswered, because I know we all have some, and I'm not the only one left with questions that are unanswered and thoughts that I think she should be doing on the matter. And I really would love to have a conversation going on this. So if you guys have any thoughts on this, leave your comments down below, because I'm really interested to hear what people have to think about this. So with that being said, I am done with my rant, and back to your days. Bye guys.